funny. This would be great. Literal tinfoil hat. This is gonna be fucking amazing. Yeah. Okay. I look so stupid. Dude. Okay. I got my literal tinfoil hat out. I want to talk quickly. I'm not going to go deep into it because I don't want to seem like a true crazy person, but I'm going to pull out my literal tinfoil hat. I want to discuss two things real quick about the Epstein files and AI in general. And so the Epstein files, when Pam Bondi came out and said, if we prosecute, the system will collapse. And everybody's like, well, maybe it should collapse then. If this is the foundation, well, then it definitely should collapse, right? Nobody has what should be, and nobody has control over what is. Nobody can be healthy or free. So, I think this is sort of a redirect. I do. So they come out and say, okay, if we prosecute the powerful people, the system will collapse. I think this is a complete lie. I think they're intending to say this, but the actual result of what will happen is backwards. So we had the 6 or 7 names come out, the Dubai Port World CEO, Prince Andrew was arrested. But there's actual accountability finally happening because people aren't letting go. But I think this is them behind the scenes saying, okay, we're going to preserve the system that doesn't work. We're going to keep the scam going over the powerful people in control of it. We're just going to keep things the same. After accountability happens, things are just going to continue the same. Like they're preserving the system over people. What we need is real change. So yeah, like a hypothetical timeline of events. So they say it'll break the system if accountability happens. Accountability starts to happen. Even if all the people from the Epstein files are prosecuted, the system's just going to continue as is. This is what they want to happen. So we've obviously seen Gates and Epstein talking about pandemic simulation and how to get rid of all the poor people. We've seen stuff about 9/11, although I'm not going to divulge into that. All of this stuff, it's going to come to light, and then things are just going to continue, which is not what we want to happen. I think that's the only reason stuff is coming out at all. It's a last bid to protect the system that's no longer working. That and the aliens thing, fucking...
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in, what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. You know?
So aliens are real.
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
Well,
he made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it. Do you believe it, Peter?
Well, if the president can declassify anything that he wants to, so
Well,
if you want to make an
I
announcement.
may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
I'm going to declassify... Obama, shut the fuck up about aliens. Whatever, I'm going to declassify it anyway.
Oh, brother!
It's all distractions. Not that the Epstein files don't have genuinely deplorable shit in them that was actually done. Like, that is very real stuff. I want you to ask yourselves one thing. What do you think the inherent end goal of AI is? So number one, it's control over our lives again. Because automation, number two. I personally believe that the Western elitists and all the greedy people in control are trying to prevent AI from growing because of the inherent end goal. So yeah, the system is bullshit. It goes beyond conspiracy or politics. It's an issue for all of us. It's not left, right. It's not center. It's an issue for all of us that Epstein and Gates were talking about how to get rid of all the poor people, pandemic simulation, this sort of thing. And it's very possible they want AI seen as a bad thing because of the inherent end goal, which is automation and control over our lives once more, health and freedom. Because guess what happens when people are healthy? They're able to think properly. And what happens when people are able to think properly? They communicate. And what happens when they communicate in a healthy way? They recognize patterns. And what happens when these patterns become obvious? People revolt. Revolution. Because this is all bullshit. All this moral financial contradiction, all of it. The whole thing. All of it. It's not that it's a lie, it's that they want it to be a bad thing, that the system collapses, and they want it to be that we can't have a system without their system. Money, mental health, I mean, there's some generally good mental health professionals, but the system itself, it's very procedural, by the book, not humanized. This needs to be thrown in. I think there's a lot of good mental health professionals that have good intentions, but I think there's also a lot that don't see systematic issues, they're complicit in them, and whether or not they intend to, sometimes things can get a bit pathological or credentialist. And whenever you make yourself vulnerable, they push you to be vulnerable, but then they narrow in on you being the issue, and not anything larger than you, unless you can perfectly articulate why it's not you. Like, there's so many different facets of society that are just so problematic, nobody thinks about it because they're just going day to day, right? Predetermination of the greedy ultra-rich. And so, yeah, based on what we've seen so far, I think these are two completely sane conspiracy theories. Absolutely. They want AI seen as bad, and they would rather preserve the system over people. And neither of which are working out. We need AI, and we need accountability, but we need proper parameters in AI, in creativity, security, all kinds of shit. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. At the end of the day, if they really wanted to, it'd be really easy for them to cut all our communications, and then, yeah, things would just break down from there. Would they do that? No, because a lot of the people with the power to do that are pawns themselves. Politics is bullshit. Politicians believe in a cause that is inept and no longer true. They're concerned about money as well. Influence is very tied to their livelihood. They're worried more about their influence and money than they are the ethics or the legitimacy or the ethics or legitimacy of politics itself. And so they're being played as well, but they would be the enforcement arm of taking away all of our communications. They could do so easily. Not saying that's gonna happen, but it would be pretty easy. Because everybody is waking the fuck up to what's going on. I don't think it's just an unfortunate consequence of AI that RAM costs so much. It can't be. At least not that alone. I just feel like everywhere you look, there's different underlying tones to things that compel you to accept hustle culture, to accept lower standards, to accept self-neglect, self-destruction, a lack of fundamentals, maximum self-neglect and self-destruction, giant arrows that everybody sees, but just nobody sees it as a problem towards consumerism, hustle culture, all these different things. We need to not forget that AI can be a good thing, and we need to root out the world's corruption. Be sure to check out my Discord server where you can chat about almost anything. Be sure to check out my TikTok where I post some political stuff, but mostly just funny stuff as well, and a little bit of both. Do subscribe. The goal is to be the most subscribed Vince on YouTube. My name means to conquer. You can help me do that. I hope this was a genuinely entertaining and enjoyable watch. Cheers.